All right. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to what will be the final world's most exciting classroom event. My name is Joe Grabowski, and I'll be your host for today. And believe it or not, after 2 years, the Darwin 200 and the Oosterschelde is back in the UK. We are currently in London on the Thames River. If you don't believe me, I'm going to switch my camera view here. And there we go. Tower Bridge in the background. You can see the Shard. We are here live on the ship for a very, very special announcement. If you've been tuning in the last few weeks, you know that we have been, well, celebrating some really cool science on board the Oosterschelde. We had some explorations of some islands in the South Pacific. We have several new species potentially undescribed to science. And today we are going to make the announcement of the name of a brand new species of marine cricket here on board the ship. So for the last few weeks, there has been a classroom vote with students all over the world placing their votes, and we have that name. But before we get there, let's talk a little bit about how we got there and how this voting went. So I'm going to change my camera again, and we're going to start off with one of our incredible ambassadors. Here we go. We have Sarah Darwin hanging out with us today. Hey, Sarah, how are you?
Hey, very good, thanks.
Great. Last time you hung out with us, I believe we were in the Galapagos. Giant tortoises, exploring. It was pretty amazing. And here we are now, back in London. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's great to be in London. We've got Tower Bridge, we've got lots of events. We've had the Duke of Edinburgh here today on the ship, and we've given him lunch. So it's been a fantastic end to the project.
All right, excellent. Well, what we're going to do now is we're going to bring in our Explorers Club researcher scientist. He's a biologist. His name's Jut Wynne. You will remember him being with us many times for World's Most Exciting Classroom Events, even live from a cave on Rapa Nui, which was pretty amazing.
Which might have been a famous first.
I think it was probably a famous first.
Yes.
Broadcasting live from a cave, Rapa Nui. Pretty special. Amazing. Well, Sarah, I think you're going to interview Judd a little bit. So why don't we go ahead and, yeah, have a little chat?
So, John, I'd really like to hear about your day job.
My day job. Well, I am a cave researcher and conservation ecologist with Northern Arizona University, and I've been blessed with the opportunity and ability to work globally. I study caves all over the world, and part of this work, really, in terms of propelling my career, was on Easter Island, also known as Rapa Nui. And this last trip with Darwin 200 represented my sixth time to the island.
And tell me, how do you get into these caves?
So it really varies in terms of how to enter them. On Rapa Nui, the caves are quite easy to enter. You enter them through a lateral passage. Other caves that I've worked in require rope and a lot of, using highly technical equipment to access the deep parts of the world.
Wonderful. And how did the Darwin 200 project contribute to your research?
Well, this is a really great question because Darwin 200 afforded the opportunity for us to do two things. First and foremost, on Rapa Nui, there are several endemic species, most of which I discovered and aided in the description of since around 2013. We have now 9 new species from the island. And the reason why this is important is because Rapa Nui has undergone an extensive disturbance history. And as part of that disturbance history, the island underwent what is called a catastrophic ecological shift. It went from a palm-dominated scrub forest to a grassland. And when that happened, all of the terrestrial vertebrates went extinct. And we lost most of the native vegetation on the island. So what remains in terms of the native fauna are invertebrates. And thus, those are going to be incredibly important to the island in terms of conservation. So what Darwin 200 provided me with the opportunity to do in Rapa Nui was to go and collect the information that we needed to conduct IUCN Red List assessments. And what the IUCN Red List is IUCN stands for the International Union of the Conservation for Nature, and they maintain a global database of plants and animals around the world, and they have these different criteria, or these different categories, rather, of imperilment and danger. And so what we have now is we have the information required to conduct those assessments for these 9 species that were largely cave restricted. And what we did is because, okay, we're not studying elephants. If you're studying elephants, you can, look at the savannah and say, oh, elephant 1, 2, 3, 4. You can more readily count them. But when you're dealing with animals that are, in some cases, a quarter of the length of a grain of rice, you can't conduct a meaningful population assessment. So we did this by proxy. And what we did was we mapped the extent of habitat where we found these animals in the caves of Rapa Nui. And so we have that to use as a proxy for population size. So that was one thing that was one of the objectives that we were able to accomplish. What we also did as part of the voyage from Rapa Nui to Mangareva is we conducted vegetation debris surveys, because the other question is, in terms of how these animals arrived to different islands, was it done via, did humans do it early on? Did humans do it contemporarily? Or was there a natural mechanism? So we evaluated those as well. There's other possibilities.
You have rather a special way of naming things, don't you?
Oh, yes. So what I try to do when we're naming new species is I try to name the new species, either naming them after prominent people from the places where I've worked. And also we use the language where the animals were discovered. And the hope through this process is that by naming animals using the language where they come from, it's my hope that it helps to instill a tie to that, for those people, to that animal, because they recognize it as being theirs, because it is, after all, their natural history. So by having that connection, the hope is that they will feel more empowered and more have a greater desire to want to protect them.
And this marine cricket has a rather special name, and I think Stuart and you are going to tell everybody.
Just before we get there,
All right.
I do want to say we've got a special guest backstage. So after we announce the name, we're going to bring the special guest in to chat with them. I think you know who's hanging out backstage, Jut.
Yes.
I'll get you to introduce when the time comes. But before we get there, we'll say a quick hi to Stu McPherson, expedition leader of the Darwin 200, really the driving force. Stu, it's great to have you here in London with us. How are you feeling right now?
Well, yeah, today marks the end of this 2-year journey. We landed in Falmouth, as you might have seen, for our concluding event there, where Darwin stepped aboard, and we decided to take the ship one last little victory lap into London. And we've been honoured, really honoured beyond words, to have the Duke of Edinburgh come on board the ship as a nice finale to this epic 2-year voyage.
Oh.
So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that's followed us over the last 2 years and joined the world's most exciting classroom. And we really hope you've enjoyed learning about so many amazing parts of conservation and science.
All right. Before we make the announcement, can our guest backstage just give me a wave? I want to make sure you can hear and see us okay. So just give me a wave of the camera if you can hear us okay. Yeah, perfect. Excellent. All right. Well, Jut, maybe right before we announce the name, we've got a picture here of the cricket. If you want to give us maybe a 30-second synopsis of what we're looking at here, and then we're going to make the announcement.
Okay, so this is what we call a marine cricket. And the reason being is that, well, they occur on islands. And we believe that they are dispersed from island to island via the ocean, which that's great, even more greatly ties in to it being a marine, that name, marine cricket. This is a species that we had collected both along the coasts, and we also collected them within cave entrances.
All right, perfect. Well, I think it's about time, Jut. We had 5 names chosen by students on Rapa Nui. We had our voting process with classrooms all over the world weighing in, and it's the time. Drum roll. It's on any surface that you can find. Here we go. We have the name to announce.
And the name is Pteronimobius Hymenae otatepo. Let me try that again. Pteronimobius Hymenae otatepo. And that translates from Rapa Nui to English as Song of the Night.
All right. Amazing. Well, speaking of special guests, we have the student backstage. who selected that name and submitted it. So I'm going to turn the camera around, Jut, and let's get them in here so you can see them as well. Whoops, let's try that again. There we go. Let's get that there. Let's get our guests in here with us. Here we go, all the way from Rapa Nui to stage. Bam, there we go.
All right.
Hey, everyone, how we doing?
Hello, we are fine. You?
We're great. We're just enjoying a little time on the deck of the ship in London. How are things in Rapa Nui today? Must be early.
Yeah, very early. He's gonna go to the school after this.
All right. Well, great to catch you before school. It would be amazing if you just took a moment to introduce yourself, and we'd love to hear where the idea for the name came from.
Okay, so he's Mangayatamu. He's my brother. He's the one who put the name to the cricket. I'm his sister, and I speak English, so I'm here to help the conversation. Well, he's 13 years old.
Yep.
No, 16 years old, sorry. And he's in the Honga Autemana school. And well, the name came from the idea that, well, we live in a farm. So in the night in Rapa Nui, the only one thing that we can hear in the night are the crickets. And
Okay.
it's like the sound of the night. So
That's a very fitting name. That's beautiful.
Indeed, it's a very beautiful name.
And congratulations. Thank you so much for sending in the name for us. And it's pretty cool. Students from all over the world voted. And there we go. That was the one that they liked the best. So very big congratulations. Thank you so much.
thank you. We are very happy too.
All right. Well, it sounds like you've got a school day to get ready for. So thank you so much for getting up nice and early, for being here and joining us to celebrate the name of this new marine cricket species.
Thank you very much.
All right. Have a great day. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today.
Maruru.
Thank you. Goodbye.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Jut, so cool.
Something else.
And really good timing to be able not only to announce the new name, but then have the person who found the name, 16 years old, came up with that name for us. And I can just imagine in Rapa Nui, that song of the night, hearing that song of the cricket. I think it's very fitting.
Indeed.
Yeah, very cool. Well, there we go. We have announced the name of the new species. We are here in London again. There's the Tower Bridge behind me. It is clouding over a little bit, but it's still a beautiful day. We've had an amazing celebration here. And yeah, 2 years of this incredible journey, over 125 live events for classrooms, broadcasting with sharks, hanging out with penguins, live events with scientists and explorers all over the world, chasing the ship. It's been a lot of fun. And Jut, you as a researcher on board, yeah, another incredible piece of the puzzle. And hopefully, as the legacy of this project continues, we'll have new names and new species to announce.
We probably will.
All right, excellent. Well, a huge shout out to everybody who's been tuning in, everybody who will catch the recording of this event. Thank you for following along with the Darwin 200 and the world's most exciting classroom. And we are going to sign out here live from London. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.